welcome to T Boys TV. We are back again with another Hat Show, obviously episode 312. And in this one, we'll be talking about shambolic individual mistakes, errors, whatever you want to call it, yet again this season. Like I said in my match reaction, exactly reminded me of the Plymouth game. You know, same scoreline, same scenario, different manager. So, yeah. And then obviously we'll be getting into the game tomorrow. And another away game. Hey, we're probably going to flip it not win again, to be quite honest here. And this time we're playing a team that are really, really poor at home. You know, really poor. Whereas when we played Port Vale, they were picking up a little bit. Obviously did win against Sunderland in the FA Cup as well, which I weren't really surprised about, to be quite honest here. But at the same time, yeah, we still didn't win that game. So, yeah, no confidence in it to turn around or anything like that, if you're going to ask me. But yeah, Dad, other than the football, how are you?
Yeah, all good, mate, all good.
Good. Good to see everyone waiting inside the chat as well. Jackie says hi, Ty and Daz. Hello, Jackie. Hope you're well. So, yeah. Well, that's why I put it in quotations, mate. Yeah, that's why I put it in quotations. Anyway, let's get into the game against Reading. Not that we really want to. But yeah, in terms of that lineup, I mean, there was a few things for me already. I mean, yes, Wells is 35, but he should have been starting this game. He's in goal scoring form. And I'll say exactly what I say with Cole, with El Hamadi. Until they score a goal or get an assist, and Wells doesn't in a game, I'm not playing them. I'm not starting them until that happens. And don't get me wrong, the other day, Cole, I thought his movement was good against Northampton. You know, I thought it was good the way he was, making their players come out with him and, it's exploiting spaces and things like that. But in terms of goal scoring, they're not doing that. You know, Wells is doing that. And yes, he's got a lot of criticism, rightly so this season, because he hasn't been good enough throughout the whole season. But the recent games, he's been good. Especially his last two goals, he's been in the box, right place, right time. So for me, I didn't like that. Didn't like that he wasn't starting in the game, to be quite honest with you. I wouldn't mind it if he started the game and then come off in the 60th minute. And I think we did say that on the preview. That would have made more sense for me. The back four at that time, I didn't really mind it. Obviously, it was the 4-2-3-1. Saville and it did say Clark, but I do think it was Palmer, to be fair. And then obviously Palmer starting, that was good to see. And then the other thing for me is Richards on that right. It doesn't work for him there. He's much better centrally, as a number 10 alongside Clark in like a 4-1-4-1 formation. It doesn't work, and it's so obvious he's going to have to get taken off every time in the second half. And, again, I'm not criticising him. Obviously he's still young, but he shouldn't be playing in that position, So they were the two things that annoyed me the most. Good to see Lawrence in. He definitely deserves that. And he's played well recently, so it's good to see a player who has played well recently actually got kept in the squad. Good to see Palmer back in, but yeah, Wells, he should have been starting this game for me. And like I say, I know he's older, but at the end of the day, he's in goal scoring form. And I'll say the same thing, until Cole or El Hamdi score, I don't put him in my team to start. I don't. We ain't got time to rotate and or quick turnaround. Or we'll take this player off at this minute. No, we're behind as it is. We're now fucking 10 points behind. It's not good enough. I knew we weren't getting the playoffs anyway. I said that after the Huddersfield game, but you just okay. We'll rotate them for this game, and then it won't matter by the time we get to that game. Like it's just I don't understand it. It really, really don't. And at this rate, probably going to be in a fucking relegation battle. To be quite honest here, if teams that are below us keep picking up the points, it's not good enough. Not good enough at all. You look at teams like Stevenage, are above us. That's not good enough. That's not good enough at all. So, yeah, not happy with them two things in a lineup in particular for me. How did you feel, Dad? Obviously, you was out and about, but coming back and seeing that lineup?
Yeah, I don't think it was too bad. I get the rotation a little bit, and it did work for obviously for large periods as well, because we got a quick turnaround. And Jane, Cole, deserved the chance. I'd say he didn't do too bad. Expected Anderson to start. I didn't want Naismith to start after, previous game. Northampton game. But yeah, You know, players should still be able to step up and take them moments.
Yep, no, absolutely. And then going into the first half, I mean, we concede within the first 5 minutes. Jones, yet the header's not good back, but at the end of the day, like I said in my match reaction, we get it right back. That situation don't happen. They just know how to just clear the ball away. You know, there is a part of me that feels, Naismith could have done a bit better as well, to be quite honest here, on that goal. But yeah, the header's not great back, but I don't understand why teams are told to do this. Never play the ball across. You're told that when I used to play Sunday League, you're told that all the fucking time. Why do teams do it? It's stupid. Absolute stupid. And what I'm fuming about, that player who got a hat trick, he was crap the whole game. Fucking jumping on our players and all that, getting a hat trick. And getting a hat trick, that is the most shittest hat trick I've ever seen a player get in my life. It was fucking awful. Absolutely awful. And he's giving it, like the Lincoln players did when we played them, and it's just shocking. Absolutely shocking there. And then they get 2 yellow cards, and that O'Connor, said it in my match reaction, he should have been sent off. He should have been sent off, flipping 2 challenges after the yellow in the second half, which meant he should have been off, but don't know why he wasn't. The referee was poor for both teams. Yet again, surprise, surprise. And then we have a bit of momentum. We play well. We have a free kick from Palmer, not too far wide. And obviously, it was good to see Bramall back as well. We did say that at that time when the lineup did come out earlier than expected. Both of us said that. We probably didn't even expect him to be back by the time we had the final, to be quite honest with you. So it's good to see him back now. But yeah, we had that free kick, and a lot of us saying on the watch along, we need to get a goal now, because that'll give us a lot of confidence going in. And we did, we did get a goal. The first initial cross wasn't great from Lawrence, but the rebound, I think I saw somewhere, it might have been on my video or something. Someone said that was a lucky cross, that second one. No, can't agree with that. Can't agree with that. The first cross was shit. The second cross was brilliant. Put it in the danger zone. Longwick scores again against Reading. And I actually felt sorry for him in this game because I actually thought he had an all right game, to be quite honest. Yeah, but again, that's what happens when you play him in centre-back. He plays much better, and he has shown them signs throughout this season. And, he just got onto it. And then from there on in, you're thinking, okay, there's a lot of confidence. We go into that second half. We get a goal from a corner. Saville with the goal. Fair play to him. I actually thought that was, a good game from him. Got the goal. Brilliant cross from Clark. And our corners were better in this game, I'd say, overall. And then from there on in, I said it on the watch long, I felt being 2-1, getting that early-ish goal in the second half, we can go on and win this game at least 3-1. And we should have. We should have. We should have had the game dead and buried. But yet again, individual mistakes. How many times have we said that? We did that exactly in the reverse fixture against Reading as well. And again, we make the changes. Richards coming off, which I knew was going to happen. Walsh coming on, didn't mind that. Didn't mind Wells obviously coming on as well. And Wells was very unlucky when he come on. Obviously had a shot, deflected, hit the crossbar. But for me, Morris, he should have been one of them first subs to come on. I mean, 3 minutes to go. Again, people might go, yeah, we're managing him. We're saving it. For what? We ain't got time to do that. We're just going to fall behind and behind and behind. He's got to be starting tomorrow, Morris. He has to be. Richards, I'm sorry, it does not work with him on the right. And again, I don't want to be critical of him because that's not his natural position. But team selections, yes, you can definitely criticise Wilshere 100%. And the way we play, and you could argue, even though he's not on the pitch, the way he's wanting to play is the reason we can see some of them goals. The stupid goal kicks, the stupid passing round the back. But at the same time, he's got to have some bollocks now to drop Naismith. Bloomfield done it. Everyone was criticising Bloomfield. Oh, he's a yes man. He's this, he's that. Well, he dropped Naismith. He got suspended at Burnley. Then we played Middlesbrough the next game. Naismith was back in. Drew 0-0, got a clean sheet. If Matt Bloomfield can do it, then Wilshere should be doing it. But will he? Probably not, because he keeps saying he's bringing all these qualities, these leadership qualities. And again, when there's a bit of pressure, they come out and tell us who our leadership group is, which I can't agree with any of that, to be honest, because half them fucking players won't even be there next season. So it's just absolute shambles. And they're saying, oh, yeah, We can understand. We understand the frustrations, but then there's games like the Burton game where our captain is trying to fight fans. Sorry. Now, whatever was said, okay, fair enough. Something personal might have been said, but at the end of the day, you're the captain. Rise to it. Show that you are the captain, and even the third goal. I mean, arguing with Keeley. I mean, if it weren't for Keeley in that first half, when they did have the chances, Kamari Doyle was really good in the game. I felt he was Reading's best player by far. I don't give a shit if the other guy got a hat trick. If it weren't for him, Keeley, especially two massive saves. There was three overall, but two were really, really good. We'd have lost that game in the first half. Despite playing well for majority of the game, we would have lost that game still. So, yeah, not good enough. And yeah, at the end of the day, you look at all the goals and they're just shocking. Absolutely shocking, especially the third one for me. I mean, Naismith saying to clear it, to Johnson. Johnson plays it back. Don't blame him for doing that in that period. But Naismith takes a touch. How are you telling him to do something and then you won't clear it? Just get the ball out. What are you doing? And eventually this style of play was going to bite us in the arse because there's been so many times, Dad, me and you have done watch-alongs and we've been like, just get the ball out, boys. Like, what are we doing? We're worrying. We're worrying, and it eventually bites us in the arse. And Reading, I'll still stand by it. It didn't deserve to win the game. Didn't even deserve a draw out of that game, to be quite honest here. But because of our stupid errors, that, in my opinion, right, obviously the scoreline was different, but that was worse than the Barnsley game for me because this game we should have won. The Barnsley game, you knew after a certain period, okay, we're going to lose this game.
It's a bit like that. Was it a Sheffield United game in the Premier League?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Like I said in my match reaction, it exactly reminded me of that Plymouth game earlier on in the season. Same scenario, same scoreline, different manager. That was the only difference. And that's why I'm not on this Wilshere out train. I'm not on it. I'm sorry, guys. I'm not. Yes, his in-game management ain't great. Yes, but the last two appointments ain't been good enough. So who are we expecting now? Who are we expecting now? And we've put ourselves in this position. I mean, there's people talk about, obviously, well, we couldn't have got Steve Cooper last season, this and that, when we sat there. We could have at that time. I believe we could have, because we were more attractive. But now we can't attract people. We can't attract a name like we'd want to attract because we've put ourselves in a position where it's just not good enough, to be quite honest with you. And yeah, I just don't see where anything improves, to be quite honest with you. So, yes, he can take accountability for his selections, persisting with Naismith, the in-game man. I get that. I totally get the frustrations there. But I'm not him out because I don't trust the higher-ups to get a good appointment. Like I say, it hasn't been proven the last two times. So, yeah, it's just, same old rubbish, really. So, that's how I feel on it. But, yeah, it's disappointing the manner we lost that game, wasn't it, Dad?
Yeah, it was. The header back, poor. My right back, no one's right back. Yeah, he's good going forward. He's no better than Royal Waters, mate, in my opinion, in that position.
No, I agree.
And the spirit's there. It is with a lot of players. You can see that has changed, but there's still them players that it's a 90-minute game. I said it. Johnson, you give him a bit of leeway for me because, in fact, he redeemed himself somewhat in when he lost that ball. He got it back, he tried to clear it. And from then on in, we should have still dealt with the cross, come into the back post, similar to the Longwick goal that we scored in, or a goal we conceded before. Jones at the back post, he ain't got his man. You know what I mean? No one's beating him 1-for-1. I've seen him two times getting beaten 1-for-1 in that position. So you're talking a noodle soup there, bro. And then the last one, fucking ridiculous. Just absolutely.
You was fuming on the watch. You're saying get it out. I mean, just don't.
So that let the rest of the team play. You know what I mean? Down. Saville Walsh gets a lot quicker. It doesn't work. So Saville was man of the match for me. Do you know what I mean?
It was. I would say it was his best game he's had at home.
Yeah. So this is how it is for the rest of the season. That's the only thing that it's happened so many times that it's bound to happen in the Virtue Trophy final. It is bound to happen. So that's the only annoying thing for me. But you got to be strong. We need Elijah back more just to give that sort of different options up front. You can knock it long to him. Mengi being out is a massive loss as well. But
Let Hakeem step in then.
Yeah, he can step in. Obviously, lucky to get Bramall back. You know what I mean? There is positives to draw from that game, but it's just certain players, same old crap. A lot of
We should
players
never be losing that. Let alone drawing it.
I'm sorry. I ain't seen that from the captain. You got to be saying sorry. I think Keeley was trying to say to him that there's 3 opportunities there, like to get rid of it or whatever. Yeah, maybe you should. Do you know what I mean? But he gets some criticism for it, not from me, but from other people. But he's a championship stroke Premier League goalkeeper. Going forward, you get hunted down in League One, you get pressure on you, etc., and you ain't gonna get that as much in the other leagues. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, whatever. Let's get on to the player ratings.
Well, before we do that, let's get into the comments because there is a lot of comments.
Yeah.
Big up to Stephen. He says, big up, guys. Keeley has been decent this season, so I won't be negative on him. I agree. Like, the second half of the season, he's been really good. And like I said, mate, if it weren't for him in that first half, when Kamari Doyle had great chances, Keeley made 3 good saves, but 2 in particular were, like, really, really good. We'd have lost that game in the first half. Despite us playing well, for large parts of that game, it was another one of them things. Every time the opposition team has chances, they look the more dangerous side, even if they have less. And I think we only had the 2 shots on target in that game, and that was the goals. I mean, and I think we had 19 chances overall. That's just no, it's not good enough. Yeah, I'm not him out because I don't trust our ups to change it up. So yeah. Terry says Hakeem and Fox in, planning for next season already. Yeah, we might have to do that, mate. Yeah, we might have to do that, to be honest. But yeah, I agree. Fox definitely deserves more opportunities, at least in the first team. And Hakeem's got to come in. Mengi being out, Hakeem's got to be in for me. Whether he plays right back, centre back, I don't care right now. He has to come in. And he has showed leadership qualities, in my opinion. I know he's been injured for a long period and that has been frustrating, but I do believe, when he's, ready to go. Like, I'll be honest, the Northampton first half, I didn't think he was great, but the second half, it was like, he ain't been missing. He was really, really good in that second half. So yeah. So yeah, there we go with that. But yeah, in terms of the player ratings, so yeah, let's get into that. So yeah, Keeley in goal. I'm not blaming him for any of the goals. If it wasn't for him, like I said in that first half, we'd have lost the game there and then, in my opinion. So yeah, Keeley made some big saves, but did concede 3, even though it's not his fault. So I'll give him a 6.5 for the game. Paul's gone with an 8. Yeah, fair enough, mate. Well, I mean, I can't blame you for going higher, to be fair. Especially 2 of them saves, like I say, in the first half, they were really, really good saves. When we saw the replay on them, we were like, wow. So, yeah, Keeley, 6.5 for me. Stephen's gone with the same. What's your rating, Dad, for Keeley?
Yeah, I'll have to give him 6.5 as well.
Yeah. Moving on to Jones. Not great, not great. Obviously, parts playing the first goal. But again, playing him at right back, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. It's like everyone else, that we've shoehorned there. I said it in the match reaction when we had Makoso, played him there against Doncaster. Yeah, had one good game there, didn't work after. Longwick, it predominantly hasn't worked the whole season, playing him there. And again, someone who's not a natural right back doesn't work. Yes, he shouldn't have done what he done on the first goal, but you're limiting him. Like I've said so many times, you're limiting him to doing what he's good at, being further forward. And with Hakeem back, maybe put Hakeem there. For the game tomorrow. But then there is that part of me that thinks Jones might still be in there because Anderson's out. A lot of people saying they saw him on crutches after, and I don't want to see Naismith play. So he might have to be there again, to be quite honest here, unfortunately. So yeah, for me, I'll give him a 5.5, but again, it's not his position. Oh, you're on mute. 1 second.
Sorry.
No, there you go.
5.5. I agree. Like, it's, he looked all right there in the game. Burton, wasn't it?
And even then, a lot of people saying on the goal, even though we should have stopped
possibly,
the
going forward and that, but ultimately marking his man and that when on runs particularly, it's not working. The same as it don't work with Naismith either. He's better going forward. He needs to utilise that. So yeah, I'll give him a 5.5.
Yeah, fair enough. Stephen's gone 6. Jackie said 6.5 for Keeley. Jones 7.5 says Paul. Interesting. Jackie's gone with a 6. Moving on to Longwick. Like I say, I actually felt sorry for him. I actually felt he had an all right game, to be honest. You can't blame him for any of the goals. But again, like I say, when you put players in their natural position, they're much better. And the rare times he has played centre back, I think he's been good. I mean, the Huddersfield home game was another good example of that. So yeah, I felt sorry for him, to be honest with you. I'll give him a 7.
Yeah, I'll give him 7. Good goal, nice. On the run, and generally good defending. He's probably the tallest in that back four at the moment. Pretty composed, win headers as well. In place of Anderson. So yeah, I'll give him a 7.
Yeah, honestly, I thought in the first half, like not even because he scored a goal, I actually thought he was probably one of our best players, if not the best.
Yeah, it was good.
I thought he was good. Obviously, there was banter on the watch along, but yeah, he was good. He was definitely good. Longwick 6.5 says Stephen. 7.5 says Jackie. And then moving on we'll go over to, well, I guess we have to go to Naismith. It's going to be very interesting to see what Jackie says in particular. I'm very interested on this one. Yeah, really, really poor. I mean, like I say, yes, the header back from Jones ain't great, but I think Naismith's got to be dealing better with the guy at the same time. It's too easy for him to get the goal. And then obviously the last goal, I mean, he's saying to Johnson and Keeley and all that, clear it away. As soon as he gets the ball, he takes a touch. Why? Just clear the flipping ball. And then the argument with Keeley put me off because Keeley was one of our best players despite conceding 3, So, yeah, Naismith, really, really poor. And again, not taking accountability for his own performances. Not good enough. I'm giving him a 1.
I'll give him a 4. You know what I mean? I'll just be like that. Yeah, poor. It's a culmination of things as well, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Like that ain't Luton fans, stick with us, which they have done and have tried to do, and then certain performances recently, compared to when you was first at Luton, it's chalk and cheese, bro. It's chalk and cheese, and this is a lower league, so that this is what it is, and that's it. Yeah, disappointing for me. So 4.
Fair enough. Naismith NA. Fair enough, mate. Naismith 2 says Jackie. Yeah, fair enough. Can't blame you. And then moving on to Johnson. Yes, okay. Maybe he shouldn't have tried to pass it to Naismith for the second goal. But I'm not going to be as critical as him on Naismith because Johnson has been good predominantly. And again, it also goes down to the way we want to play in terms of like making these short passes. And obviously he's being told to do that. Loads of times throughout the season, I have seen Johnson just get the ball up there, to be quite honest with you. But yeah, I'm not going to be too critical on Johnson. But yeah, it wasn't a great game. So I guess I will have to give him a 5.5.
Yeah, I agree. 5.5. Same reasons.
Go on, sorry. Naismith 2. Yeah, Paul's gone with a 2 as well. Same as Jackie. And then moving on to George Saville. I actually thought he had a good game. That was probably his best home game. Like a lot of the earlier games in the season, I thought he was all right, like Wigan game scoring and things, but obviously got a goal in this game. I was a bit surprised he started. Like I would have started him tomorrow. I probably would still start him tomorrow, to be honest. But Yeah, I think he is more suited for away games. However, I thought he had a decent game. He weren't at fault for anything. And fair play to him, talking after the game. I actually see him bring more leadership qualities than our own captain, to be quite honest
We
here.
talked
Like,
about it months
I've
ago.
been to games and I've seen Savile literally talking to the players while there's a drinks break. And there was a game, I think it was Blackpool. I just saw Naismith just sitting on the bench. He wasn't even trying to talk to any. It was crazy, absolutely crazy. So, yeah, Savile, one of his better games. I'll give him a 7.5.
Yeah, 7.5. Good goal. Great goal, actually. Um, worked hard. Like I say, not a fault for anything. I had bit rumblings of him and Walsh don't work. They've seen that in a couple of games where it hasn't worked. But a lot of the two at the back, in that position, don't really work anyway. It's worked a couple of times, but ultimately, he was decent. And before that, I think Clark was alongside him. But no one's saying that about Clark. Do you know what I mean? But you see, he was more back. Palmer was the central cam basically. But yeah, 7.5, decent. Yeah, I want him to start again. Definitely away against Doncaster.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Because the thing is, away, like, you know, maybe not with teams down there, but like the better sides, we expect them to have more possession. And he could be good in terms of mopping up and doing that stuff. Stephen says Johnson's still learning on the job. 6.5. Yeah, he is still learning. 6. Savile 7 says Stephen. 7.5 says Paul. Jackie's gone with a 7. And then moving on we'll go over to Clark before we go over to Palmer. Yeah, I felt sorry for Clark. He had that really good attempt, didn't he, in the first half where it hit the crossbar. Very unlucky. And again, like I say, 9 times out of 10, unless he has a bad game, which is very rare, I feel sorry for him. I really, really do. And yeah, it's one of them where we continue like this. Like I said, he'll be gone. He'll be gone in the summer. Simple as that. So yeah, for me, Clark, felt sorry for him. I'll give him a 7.
Yeah, I'll give him a 7. Yellow card. He's picked up a couple now, but it's more out of frustration than anything else. And like I say, he was sitting back a little bit more. So, I get that. But he was still active and that, but a bit more frustrated, in this game. Had a great shot. Yeah, I'll give him a 7.
Yeah. Paul's gone 7.5. Stephen says 7. I wouldn't begrudge him moving on. No, I mean, like I said, loads he's been so loyal to the club to even be at the club for as long as he has. I'm going to be honest. Like he's too good for League One level.
Oh yeah,
He's definitely a championship player, and I'd say like a high end championship player. To be quite honest here. So yeah, it will be obviously gutting when it happens, but I think it's inevitable. To be honest, that it will happen. I'm surprised he's stayed for as long as he has. Like I said, so fair play to him. But yeah, Jackie's gone 7.5 for Clark. Moving on to Palmer. Like I say, we'll go over to Palmer. For me, looking back at it, he shouldn't have been taken off because to me it gives me approach like as soon as we take him off, we're sort of looking at it and sitting a bit more deep.
yeah.
That's how I saw it personally. Because Walsh, yeah, okay, he is attacking, he brings that and all that, but then at the same time, Walsh is he can be deep lying at times. So it's sort of like and then you still obviously had Savile on as well. Like it just didn't really work in the end. That was proven. And Palmer was instrumental again for me. I mean, there was a pass he done to Wells when he come on, and it's sort of like a no look, pass, and he was really good. And yeah, again, I don't really agree with the rotation, managing him because at the end of the day, we're behind as it is now, and now we're 10 points behind. You had to win this game. A lot of people said that were at the game. They felt they had to win the game. I see David said it as well, Mike. They felt they had to win this game to have any chance of the playoffs back on. Even though I don't think it is. But we didn't win it, and you got to keep players like that on for me. So yeah, and also like a lot of games recently he hasn't even started. So I don't understand the managing him really. It doesn't make sense to me. So yeah, for me, I'll give Palmer I'll give him a 7 in this game.
Yeah, I agree. I'll give him a 7. I thought it was decent. Obviously, he's always looking to get forward on the ball, etc. in being dropped, I don't know. I think it's just because other players have come back into the team. Like Walsh. And Saville's been doing all right as well, and it's probably a harder decision. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, he probably should. He can play like in a lot of positions as well.
Yeah, and he's shown that in the last 2 games where he's come on.
Where Richards was playing, I think he could definitely play there.
Plays there for Jamaica.
Walsh
that sort of right side
there, or push Clark there and put Walsh next to Saville, which I know people say it doesn't work. I think it does work. In the few, I've seen it work. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'll give him a 7.
Yeah. I mean, Stephen's given man a match. Yeah, I'm not quite giving one. If I was, I would give it to him, to be honest. As soon as he's come off, we capitulated. So, yeah, Clark's best of a 3. Yeah, he's definitely up there. Yeah, definitely the one that I've seen for sure. Yeah, 100%, mate. Especially the work ethic, if you want to call it like that.
I still remember when we first signed him. And,
Accrington Stanley, yeah.
We played in a friendly. He used to play like when we first signed him, they put him on the right wing. And I think he scored like a header from a cross. Or it was just really
good. Like his early goals, he used to score a lot of headers for us.
Yeah.
Interesting, because he's not actually that tall as well. So fair play. But yeah, no, I agree. Definitely in my life that I've seen, obviously a lot of you are way older than me, but yeah, I agree. For me personally, the best 3 that I've seen. So yeah, he should be playing. I don't like the thing is yeah, I agree. Like he hasn't started the last 2 games before this. And when he's come on, he's looked really good. I mean, even in the Plymouth game, he come on that left in the quarterfinal.
Yeah.
And people are saying, oh, he's got to be starting now. And he should have started, oh, yeah, it's just ridiculous. But yeah, I won't be surprised if he's not now, to be honest, with the position we're in, So,
but what I will say on that is, you don't know what goes on behind the scenes sometimes, right? And you will get certain players that will come into a changing room and they'll be like, well, I'm better than all of you. You get me? Like that kind
of thing. The thing is, he backs it up.
He does back it up, but like you can't, I'm not saying, but there's certain players in that squad who are still very good and are learning or are younger and stuff. I don't know, but could be that. You don't know. Like,
and if you want to talk about managing, sorry to cut you off, Dad. If you want to talk about managing, like minutes and that, not saying you, I'm just saying like, Wilshere and all that. Okay, we should be managing Walsh then on that basis because he's just come back. Palmer's literally every game, whether he starts or not, he's been good, except some of the away games. But then there's too much expectation on him in that 4-1, that CDM role. Cardiff, there was too much expectation on him. We had another away game.
What it is, yeah, I think what they feel is that he takes too many touches sometimes. Too many. Do you know what I mean? That's what I reckon it is.
But 9 times out of 10, they're good touches.
Yeah, no, I know. But I think sometimes he does, and then it's but I don't know. You're just overthinking it. They're over analyzing it. They're over fucking statting it up.
I agree with that.
Yeah. Because what I will say about the stats, when we're recruiting, we're looking at this, that, and the other. Okay. So if a centre back made 4 errors in the space of 2 games. Where would do you know what I mean? You'd put him below someone else. So where's this at right now? You should, do you know what I mean? You should be doing it on. Well, actually, let's continue that data. They might even be doing that. Let's continue that data and see if they're doing the same at this club, and if not, why not? Are they too old? Have they lost a bit of pace? This, that, and the other. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. No, I agree. But yeah, moving on we'll go over to Richards. Like I say, difficult for him in that position. So I'm not really going to be too critical. Yeah, just a 6 in it. It's one of them. And then moving on to Lawrence. I thought he had a decent game again. There was a volley, it was quite similar in terms of the connection he could have got to the one against Northampton, but it weren't as good, nowhere near as good. But he was still trying. He was still getting in positions, and even though we've got Bramall back, he's definitely an option to still start ahead of him with Bramall coming back in anyway. Obviously, manage him, but still, Lawrence is still doing well in the last 3 games now. So, yeah, Lawrence, I'll give a 7.
Yeah, I'll give him a 7. I thought he'd done all right. I don't feel like he's probably should start the next game based on us being away and stuff like that. But definitely he's earned his place on the bench, back in the squad for real. Um, yeah, he's good or excellent on the ball. He really is. And yeah, cross him from the second time. The first one it went terrible, but he still had the nous to play it, back into a more dangerous position. I don't think it was lucky. I think it was good. Um, and then big Nige with the finish, wasn't it? So
Yeah.
yeah, I thought he was decent. I'll give him a 7.
Yeah, and then even when you look at his assists, right, initial cross ain't great. He gets the ball back. In his head, he's probably thinking, right, I need to do a much better one. And he's put it right in the danger zone.
He's done
And
well.
then it just latches onto it. So, yeah. Jackie says 7.5, thought he was good again. Paul's gone. Richard 6.5. Yeah, he was good again. Lawrence 8 says Paul. Lawrence high energy, still can't last 90, but another youngster 6.5. Yeah, exactly. Like I think like he's a player right now that I would still start. Me personally, and obviously you said slightly different, Dad. You wouldn't start him tomorrow, but me personally, I would start him and then I'll take him off. Like 60th minute or whatever, just an example, and then bring Bramall on. That's what I would be doing personally. And the last away game, he was good. He was good away. Obviously, yeah, I know, like, it probably should be because it's bottom of the league, but they're kicking on a little bit as well at the same time. And they obviously beat Sunderland yesterday, so he got an assist in that game, and it was a good assist, good pass over to Wells. So, me personally, I'd let him continue the momentum because, you've obviously seen, with Wells, been in goal scoring form, and then we dropped him, and then, we didn't get a goal from a striker. So, I'd persist with Lawrence tomorrow to try and get another goal or assist, hopefully, but keep him while he's on good form. So, yeah, and Bramall's just come back. So, yeah, that's maybe personally what I would do there. And then moving on to Cole up front. I mean, there was good movement and things, but I don't know why he started, I'll be honest, because Wells is, like I said, Wells on good goal scoring form. And I said it with Cole, I'll say it with El Hamadi as well. Until they score a goal or get an assist and Wells doesn't in a game, I'm not starting them. You can't take a striker out that's on goal scoring form. You can't use managing for me. You can't use that. Take him off at 60th minute then, and then bring on Cole. I wouldn't mind if we'd done that. Wells is in goal scoring form. He's the only player in that one up front getting the goals right now. Should have stuck with him for me in this game. And yeah, it's like I said, we're behind as it is. You've got to be managing the players that are on good form. You've got to keep putting them in. And again, that's why I say I'll start Lawrence again. He's in good form, getting a couple of assists and things. And then Wells got to start tomorrow. He's got to. So, yeah, for me, Cole, there was good moments, like I say, from him, like in terms of movement and that. But until they score, I'm not starting him or El Hamadi. I'm not. That's just how I see it. So, and we ain't got time to rotate now. We haven't. So I don't want to hear it. We ain't got no cup games coming up. We ain't got nothing like that, other than the final, obviously. But you're going to go strong in that game. So yeah, for me, I'll give him a 6.5. Oh, let me unmute you. You're on mute. There you go.
6 for me, but ultimately, didn't do anything. Looking strong on that. He's still getting used to it. He needs to start more games. Maybe it's a 2, up front.
Yeah. I agree with that. If he starts, it should be in a 2. It shouldn't be solely him, because he's not scoring. He's not scoring. And again, I'm not going to
hard in that, but it's just taking time, isn't it?
Because let's be honest, when Wells was doing all right, getting involved, and that, we were saying that's good, but he's still not scoring. So we want 2, But with Wells scoring, with being that sole one up front, he's got to be the one playing for me with him scoring. He's in goal scoring form. So that's how I see it. And then the subs, Walsh, I'll just give him a 6.5. I mean, he had a shot that was very unlucky.
They're all 6s for me.
Okay, fair enough.
The game.
Yeah, Wells, I'll give him a 6. Kadoa, 6. Bramall 6 as well, yeah. And then Morris, he shouldn't have come on for 3 minutes. I mean, that's pointless for me. He should have been one of the first couple of subs for me. He causes havoc every single time, and he could have been very beneficial when we were 2-1 up for me, trying to chase that next goal. Because he just crosses it in. He'd take on the player. We know what he's like. And he's got to start. I don't like that he's not starting really at the moment. I don't understand that. And obviously, you guys know I've been saying, I think he is more of an impact player. But at the same time, when we're putting players like Richards out wide, I'd rather see Morris all day long. And also the fact Kadoa's he's not really on form, let's be honest, But he has been good for us throughout the season, so I'm not going to obviously criticise him, but it's just a fact right now he's not in good form. So I'd be putting Morris there, starting him there. That's what I would be doing. And Lawrence is kicking on that left-hand side, so I'll be persisting with him. So it's not like a situation where we had a couple of weeks ago where that left-hand side wasn't working. It is working now with Lawrence. So you just need to have a natural winger on the right. And that's Morris for me, Shaden Morris. Even if you take him off, I've got no problem. This is the thing, we can manage these players, but we have to keep the ones that are on better form starting and then take them off. That's what we should be doing. But yeah, Bramall, welcome back, 6, yeah. Others 5.5, fair enough. And obviously you give Walsh a 6. Jackie's gone with Cole 6 as well. Oh my God. Jeez. Anyway, but yeah, that is that on that game. Like I say, no man of the matches. And it's a shame because there was good performances, but the way we lost that game, I don't really want to give one, to be quite honest with you. And yeah, we go into the Doncaster game now. Finally, we're playing Doncaster. Obviously, it's got rescheduled flipping twice. But we do take them on tomorrow night. Not feeling confident myself personally. I know they're not great at home, but we're not great away, as we know. They are slightly worse at home than we are away. But, they're in a position where they out of the relegation zone, but, a win could help them get some more points, points away. And they've got good players. I mean, the reverse fixture, obviously, we had Bloomfield, we won 1-0. First game in a while playing a back four, and it did work for that one game. Makoso there, and then he got exploited and right back all the other games, in my opinion. So, that was an all right win. It still wasn't great. I think Naismith actually got the goal, ironically, from a corner, I think it was, if I remember rightly. But they should have scored that day as well, to be honest. I mean, Molyneux, a player I think's good, and I know you're the same, Dad. He probably should have scored in that game. He had 2 great chances from memory. And even though Makoso had a better game in right back that day, there was a moment where he got caught out, and it was one of the chances Molyneux had, sort of blazed it wide and over. So, yeah, I mean, they should have really done something that day. They should have got something out of it. But one thing that could give us a bit of positivity is, especially in the times Grant McCann's been a manager, whether it's been at Hull or Doncaster, we do actually beat the teams. I remember that time he had a lot of pressure at Hull. We beat him 1-0. So if there's anything history-wise to go by, confidence, that could be it. But in terms of right now, I mean, I can't see us winning this game, to be quite honest with you. A point was better than nothing in the last away game, but overall, it still wasn't great in one and a halves, like it has been a lot throughout the season. And even though Doncaster did lose the other day to Plymouth, that was away for them, I do think they'll be hurting on that. And also on top of the Virtue Trophy game against Stockport. I mean, yes, they rotated. They rotated their side. They changed it up at half time. But, they should have had a corner in that game. They feel hard done by. Obviously, their managers come out and say comments that we shouldn't even be in it, like flipping after people. So they'll be trying to go at us, and trying to win this game and climb even more away from, the teams in the bottom half right now. So it's not going to be an easy game at all, especially with how we are away. And I can't see the form changing, the away form changing. And it's not good to say because, I mean, the game we got after this is Wickham away, and they have been good this season. They started off pretty poor, but as soon as their new managers come in, they've been good, Duff. So, I mean, that's not an easy game either. And I didn't think I'd say this, but Woodrow being out for that game is a fucking benefit for us. I didn't think I would have said that. And it's like Mike and David said the other day. But yeah, I mean, not a lot of confidence going into this, unless you're different, Dad.
You feeling really. With both teams, well, especially us, we're at different different from what it was when we beat them. But they're doing all right. They'd probably settle for a draw. They're in poor form a little bit, but our away form is the worst in the league. And yeah, I'll just Elliot Lee. You know he's going to score in the moment when someone fucks up, probably, or he score a banger. He will. So yeah, I think we're going to struggle. It's just set. Look, we're most of the way through the season now, so we've seen how it goes. We haven't really had many results where we've gone, I didn't expect that. Maybe Stockport away. I can't think of any others.
I mean, I will say the home games, even though they were poor at the time.
Sorry?
I will say the home game, even though they were poor at the time, Wycombe and Leyton Orient, I was surprised the manner we won.
Maybe Wycombe, but that's it. That's 2 games.
Yeah. Throughout the whole season, that's shocking.
And yeah, I just can't. I mean, Doncaster away anyway at the beginning of the season. I'd have been wary of that anyway because I thought they'd be doing better than what they are doing.
And they were doing well at the start. They were right up there. Do you remember in the playoffs?
But it finds teams out, doesn't it? And fair play to Lincoln as well, by the way, who went top of the league. I think they could struggle in the Championship unless they, with the players they've got. A couple of players they're all right, but Sonny Bradley, nah. Do you know what I mean? Collins in there, they're not going to cut it. Like, they'd have to buy players, but fair play to them. So yeah, no, I think both teams will just cancel that out. I'm half thinking a 0-0 draw, but they've got the second worst defence in the league, so I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. I know it's early. We ain't done the lineups and that, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, obviously, just say it again at the end. But yeah, no, fair enough. But yeah, in terms of me, like I said, I'm not feeling too confident for this. I mean, obviously, you had that slight feeling that it might change after the Wigan game in terms of the away form, and it didn't. So I just don't know where it's going. Like these 2 games, they're difficult games. Yeah. I mean, I don't want to say the cliche every game in the every team in the league's difficult, but these 2 really are. I mean, Doncaster, they're a team that, yes, they're out of the zone, but like I say, they're fighting to get more points away from it. And then Wycombe, they are on form, since the managers come in, especially at home. I know they lost in the manner they did the other day, but at least they're in the playoff conversation. We're well out of it now, and they were at home this time, and we're obviously away where we're still poor as it stands. So I can't see anything changing, to be honest with you, in terms of the away form anytime soon, really. I mean, even some of the games we've got away, I mean, I think of the rest of the season, like we've got to play Wimbledon away. That's not going to be an easy game, and games like that. So I just don't see where it's going to change, to be honest. But yeah, in terms of other comments, Stephen says more worried about Wycombe. Yeah, Wycombe's a more difficult game, definitely. But I'm worried about this game as well. I definitely am. He was just waffling, basically trying to say, we shouldn't be in it, like a lot of other people have said. But he's probably salty after when we beat him in 2009. He was a player, wasn't he, for Scunthorpe? So he's probably salty. Yep, exactly, mate. He's scoring goals. At least he can't play against us. Exactly. You wouldn't think we would have said that. I mean, so many of us wanted him out, probably earlier than he, was. But, yeah. Can Woodrow play for us, Ben says. Oh, mate, honestly.
Mate, shocking. You'd have him back. You'd have him back. If we stay in this league and you'd have him back, wouldn't you? Because he's proven that he's proven.
I mean, yeah, you probably have to say yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yep. But yeah, in terms of lineup, so this is my lineup for this game. We've obviously gone slightly different. Obviously, I've made it realistic with a formation that's likely. 4-2-3-1. I think we will stick with it. So I've gone Keeley in goal, obviously. Back 4, I have gone Jones right back. The only reason I've gone with that is, like I said earlier, Anderson, well, he was on crutches, a lot of people were saying the other day, and I don't want to put Naismith in. If Anderson was back, I'd definitely have him, but being on crutches, very unlikely. So that's why I wouldn't. I would put Akeem in. He needs to come in. Whether he plays centre back or right back, he needs to be in the squad. Longwick is the other centre back on the left side this time, but he has obviously played left back for Huddersfield. I know it's left centre back in this game, but he can't play on that left side, is what I'm trying to say. I would keep Johnson in. I know, yeah, he's at fault for the second goal, but overall, he's done all right, considering he's been out for large parts of the season as well. And Bramall's just getting into the swing of things. And plus, I'd want to see Bramall come on for Lawrence in the game. Saville and Palmer, continue with Saville in this game. I've put Palmer a bit deeper, but then in periods in the game, let Palmer go further up. And then Saville sort of mop up and be more holding in that role. Morris, like I said, start a winger. Start Morris. He come on for 3 minutes the other day, starting him, 100%. I would keep Lawrence in, and like I say, I would take, Bramall, would put Bramall on for him in this game. Clark, obviously, the captain for me. And then Wells, similar to Morris in terms of not starting the last game. You want to say you're managing these players and all that. Well, Wells is in goal scoring form. So, yeah, that's what I would be doing for that. So that's my lineup. In terms of that, do let me know if you would go with the same in terms of that. And then as for your lineup, Dad, this is your lineup for this game. So talk us through it.
So Keeley, obviously. So the back four, obviously, I've got an interest in, yeah. I think if Anderson and Mengi's out, then we've got to make drastic measures. I don't want Naismith starting in the next game. Yeah. So Bramall's back, put him for me. I've seen Johnson playing centre back. Some people might be arming about that, but we've seen it a couple of times. I think it's particularly in the Premier League, actually. Come on, in the last game against Fulham, played centre back. And he come on in another game. So this, he's in the England setup. He should be able to adjust to play there, and we have seen him. So desperate times, put him there. And then this could go either Hakeem and Longwick switch positions, or they stay as they are. I'm happy with that. And then I don't think Saville should be dropped, so I'd be starting him. It's hard because I want to get Walsh in there as well, but at the same time, Palmer's on it as well. You're not going to drop Clark. Jones, I'm starting, but I'm starting him on the wing, where he should be more effective. We could start Lawrence there, but I feel a way that's not going to be a good idea. I think the amount of games he's had recently could catch up with him, and I wouldn't be risking that personally. So Kadua's been out of form. Jones is good going forward. We've seen him play there, come on in that position. He's done all right, Tyler. So I'm looking to play him there. Clark, he's undroppable. Morris, let's say, I think he should be starting. And then, as you say, Wells didn't start the last game, should be starting this game. So yeah, that's mine.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't mind Jones higher up, if he is on that left. Obviously, we've seen good games there, like mentioned before and things. So, yeah, it could be that in terms of that. And we have seen Johnson like more of a centre back, like you say. I don't know the last time, if I'm being honest, but we have seen it, and I'd rather that than Naismith, to be quite honest with you. So, yeah, we'll see. But a lot of things obviously have gone similar. Like I say, I don't care where Hakeem plays, if it's centre back or right back. I don't care as long as he plays. Especially with Mengi being out, for sure. We obviously know that. And then Anderson's looking very likely to be out. So, yeah, that's that with that. But it might even be a situation again where, Clark's, deeper with Saville and then Palmer ahead again. I mean, it didn't, it wasn't too bad. So maybe that. But yeah, players like Wells and Morris in particular, they have to start this game for me, 100%. In terms of that, so they are our lineups. People putting in their score predictions, do put in yours if you haven't already, and we'll get into them in a second. Yeah, probably at this rate, mate, to be fair.
What happened there, mate? What happened there? Because you said it, didn't you? The original lineup come out,
and he was on it, yeah.
And Naismith wasn't even on the bench,
It said he wasn't. No.
and then they changed it. Yeah,
Mm.
you know what I mean. So did he? But no one said
Obviously,
it.
he got injured in the warm up, but
Yeah, but no one's come out. I'd have been asking that. He was
yeah,
our best
yeah.
defender in the previous game.
We've been like this for
On
years.
the
We're
bench.
discreet with stuff. I don't know why.
Happened to him.
We're not in the Prem no more. Like, the teams ain't gonna like be scared. Oh, what's he said here? Like a lot of people don't care. I don't watch opposition previews. Some of a lot of teams like Burton and that they release their stuff like 2 days before. You know, it's not like I'm going to be sitting there watching. Like, obviously, if they're playing us, yeah, but I'm not.
Nothing's come out since, has it?
No, and then nothing comes out in the midweek and never does, especially when we lose.
Unless someone's bullshitting, you know what I mean? He was totally rested, but that's still a poor decision. Like,
But at the same time, I wouldn't be surprised if he is injured because he done so well on Wednesday night. You know, he's probably worked too hard, and then he's probably got injured. And it's a shame. It's a shame because he can bring good games, as we know. Obviously, yes, he does have his moments, but nowhere near to the level that Naismith has, in my opinion, this season. Ben says he likes both our teams, and there's a hard midfield there. That's what we need as well. Yeah, exactly. Especially in this type of game, a team that's fighting. Yeah, 100%.
Get the best players on the pitch as well. You know
what I mean? Yeah, exactly. Jackie says the only change you make is Walsh and Saville. Yeah, fair enough. I mean, I wouldn't mind like Walsh and Palmer. That could work maybe well. I don't think we've experimented that, have we?
No.
Could work well.
Yeah.
If Walsh is more deep lying anyway, and they're both not attacking, I think that could work. So, yeah, there we go with that. But yeah, score predictions. Well, you've obviously already said yours, Dad, but just remind us. You think
1-1? Yeah, I just think we'd cancel each other out. I wouldn't be surprised if it's 0-0 either. But yeah, goal scorer. I'm not going with. I will go with Palmer.
Fair enough. 1-1. What it was in our last away game. As for me, I'm going to be honest. I've been thinking this for a while in the lead up to this game, and we're still really, really poor away. So I'm going to actually say they win 1-0, unfortunately. 1-0 win for Doncaster. They'll do what we done in the reverse fixture, and they'll win 1-0 this time instead of losing 1-0. And yeah, I've just got a feeling it might be another one of them games where there's a lack of shots on target. It's very poor in terms of the sideways.
Elliot Lee scores in the 90th minute.
What's that?
Elliot Lee scores for him in the 90th minute.
Honestly, to be fair, I can see him getting a late goal as well. The 1-0 that I think I can see it being a late goal. But yeah, it would be typical, isn't it? Elliot Lee, Matty Pearson, typical former player to score. Obviously, Joe Taylor did it in our last 1-0 defeat, away. It would be typical, but yeah, that's what I'm going with for this game. I've been thinking that for a while, to be quite honest, yeah. And also the fact they're in the position they're in, they'll be fighting to get more points away from the relegation zone, and obviously us still poor away. I just can't see it changing. And then we go into Wickham next, which, in my opinion, will be even more of a difficult game. So yeah, not looking forward to it, to be quite honest with you. But yeah, in terms of other score predictions, Daz has gone with his memorable, lovable 2-0. He loves the 2-0. He's gone with it again. Oh, you're right, mate. But I'll be honest, even though they are down there, I can't see us keeping them out. I really, really can't. Doncaster 2-0 again. Ben's gone with another 2-0 as well. Jackie says 2-1. Don't ask me why. Jordan and Palmer to get the goals. Yeah, fair enough. I do think if we do win, even though I don't think we will, I do think it'll be like 2-1, to be honest. But yeah, I don't think we will. Score, no idea. Don't blame you, mate. With how poor both us away are, them at home, us away, I don't blame you, mate. So yeah, I mean, I ain't even gone with a goal scorer, actually, have I? Their goal scorer, fucking Molyneux. Why not? Probably be him, a player who I rate highly, or it'd be one of the former players that used to play for us. But yeah, I'd probably say Molyneux, to be fair. I think he is a good player. That I'll be honest, I'll be surprised if he's still there next year, to be honest with you, especially if they do go down. I don't think they will, but even with the position they're in, I think he can attract higher up teams, to be honest. But yeah, any final things, Dad, you want to say before we go?
Is what it is, isn't it? It's just see what happens. I've said it, same fucking thing all the time. You know what I mean? The season's pretty much done. We just need to try and get this bonding issue sorted out, because there is, certain players that someone always lets us down. It's getting better, and then just sort that out. And if we get into a safe position and we do win the Virtue Trophy, blood some youngsters for the rest of the games. Do you know what I mean? Give people like Fox a chance. The Polish striker who scored 40 goals. Yeah, come on. Like, give him a chance.
Chigoze as well. I know he's been injured, but he's just come back. And he looked really good in the 2 games he's played this season, especially Coventry away in the League Cup. He was really good in that game for me. So, yeah, they're the main 3 I'd be looking to break through now, to be honest. And we're at that stage. A lot of people are saying, even do it now. I mean, in the league, I don't blame them, to be quite honest here. And then the thing is as well, like, if you play or at least have some of them in the squad, by the time we get to that Virtue Trophy game, some of them deserve to be on the bench for me, because that is a tournament anyway where we've played youngsters, like whether they've come on or they've been in the squad. Obviously, Evans had the big
I think Fox would be on the bench. Definitely.
Yeah, Fox has to be the next one. If I had to say the next one specifically, Fox, and then I would go with the striker, then Chigoze personally. That's what I'd be doing. But yeah, I agree. You got to start, because you look, and we said it before we come on here, you look at how many strikers we've just not give a chance that have come through the ranks. Even players that are still out on loan now, like Ollie Lynch, I can't see him playing for us. I know he's doing well at Tamworth, but I can't see us using him. So give players that are, literally at Luton now, give them a go. We're said to lose at this point. I mean, 40 goals, don't care what level it's at. That is ridiculous. And he did come on, didn't he, in the Swindon game? So it's not like he's, not even had any experience. Yeah, okay, it was a couple of minutes, but still, like, you got to do it for me. So, I mean, that is very optimistic, mate. I'll be honest. Winning streaking coming, I just can't. Yeah, I mean, if we had, I was about to say if we had 2 home games, but even then we finally lost at home.
It's just no chance.
I just can't see it. And even if we do, I mean, what does it mean? Like, we're 10 points behind. I just, even with teams dropping points, which is likely, especially with how this league's been this season, it ain't going to matter really. As long as the thing that I think would be good for us is just getting confidence for that final. Because right now, like you said earlier, Dad, there's not a lot of confidence in my opinion. And obviously your opinion as well. So, yeah, but if anyone's interested, why not? While we're here, the draws come out for the FA Cup. So who's got who? Port Vale. They go away to Chelsea.
What a surprise.
Yeah, Port Vale fan. I know a few in this group chat. They're actually quite fuming with that, to be honest. Like, they wanted a Prem team, but not Chelsea. Southampton Arsenal go to Southampton.
What a surprise.
The best tie is Man City Liverpool. That's the best tie. That's that is big. And then the other ones is obviously West Ham Brentford, literally playing 5 minutes. The winner of that will play Leeds at home, so that could be quite interesting as well. So yeah, they are the draw. That is the draw, shall I say? So that's what's coming there. If anyone's interested in that, but yeah, in terms of content for this game. I will be doing a watch along tomorrow, so do tune into that if you can. Obviously, I have a match reaction as well. And then the same thing for the Wycombe game upcoming, watch along match reaction. And then obviously we'll have the Hat Show on Friday to react to this game and then preview the Wycombe game, which we're not looking forward to. Like, we're not tomorrow, to be honest, but we'll still be here reacting and all of that. So check all of that out. And big up to everyone that checked out the match reactions the other day as well, mine and Mike's and David's outside the ground. So yeah, big up to everyone that checked that out. Do subscribe as well to the channel if you haven't already, whether you're watching live or on playback. Smash a like, follow me across all my socials, and yeah, I will see you guys tomorrow. So yeah, let's hope it can change, but even then, is it going to mean much? I don't think so, as long as it's trying to get confidence, I guess, for the final. But other than that, can't see anything, mate. So, yeah, that's how I see it. So, yeah, big up to everyone that's tuned in. And, yeah, Terry says good money for Port Vale. That is true. It will give them good money, to be fair. And there you go. Port Vale fan coming here. I'm buzzing going to Stamford Bridge. There you go, mate. So, yeah, enjoy it. And you never know. I'll be honest. I do expect Chelsea to win, but you've probably scored 1 or 2. I mean, they are very vulnerable defensively. They've got a good attack.
Isn't it? Just go at them.
Yeah, go at them. I mean, they've shown their defensive vulnerabilities this season, so I'm sure you'll score a goal, maybe two. But yeah, just go at them. You know, we've had good games with Chelsea in the FA Cup over the years, to be fair. You know, so yeah, I don't see why you guys can't either, to be honest. Kicking on a bit of form. Ben says, great live, guys. See you. Take care. And yourself, mate. But yeah, big up to everyone. Like I say, smash a like, all that. And yeah, I will see you guys tomorrow. Dad will see you guys on Friday. Because how poor we are, we're probably not going to bother to do the watch along together because it's just depressing, isn't it, really? So yeah, big up to everyone. But yeah, until then, take care and peace. And I'm sure you'll be in the chat anyway, Dad, won't you?
Yeah, of course, man.
Come on, take care.
Peace out.